There you
Cool.
go.
So first of all, I have to tell you that you look great, meaning I haven't seen you and you look younger and I could tell you've lost
Oh,
weight. You look good.
I shaved.
Yeah, but you also lost weight. And I see,
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. I see. I know you shaved, but you look younger and thinner.
good.
Very good. How
Gotta
have you
like
been
that.
feeling?
Overall, great. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm actually rarely ever hungry.
Yeah.
It's like I kind of forgot food was part of life. Not
That's
really, but
fun.
it was
Yeah.
funny. I was in a pizzeria this morning and that pizza smelled good. And I said to the guy, now that's what I do for a living. I go into restaurants. So how do you diet and go into restaurants all day? And people are trying to give you free food. And I said to the guy, I said, boy, I wish I could eat some of this pizza. It really smells great, but I don't want to insult these people. So, but I'm on a diet. You're
Yeah.
on a diet. I go, I know it doesn't look like it now, but I said, I was working a pretty big beer belly about 5 weeks ago. And I go, and I've lost 15 pounds in less than 5 weeks. He goes, what are you eating? I go, nothing. Anyway, I said, but seriously, lots of vegetables.
Yeah.
I said, no sugar, no bread,
Yeah.
no cheese. I said, unfortunately, a piece of pizza is my enemy at the moment. But
Yeah.
no offense to you, I love it.
It's nice to hear that. It's also nice to remember that we wanted to clean up shop a little bit, right? And make sure we help get a headway on weight loss, less inflammation, feeling good. So I'm so happy to hear that you lost the 15 pounds. What have been some other benefits that you've felt so far, if any?
I used to always feel very gassy after a meal. And I'm a gentleman. So, my girlfriend, Mary, yeah, I got to go in the other room. Where are you going?
Mhm.
Don't worry about it. Now it's like, hey, I don't go in the other room anymore. I'm not dealing with bloating and feeling gassy and so on. So I'm no longer a gaseous anomaly. And that's a big plus. Not to be gross, but trips to the bathroom are less frequent and more productive, and
Awesome.
all that stuff.
Yeah. And you know what? It's not gross because people have the same issue. They're just not saying it. And I know that this is you just revealing whatever you'd like to, but when you talk about it, these are things that people talk to me about or don't want to say, but because there's embarrassing. Right. And I just want to thank you because it just gives light for people to get the help they need. Has your energy changed yet? And just be honest, how's your energy?
Well, I ran a marathon yesterday, but no. Actually though, I walk every day for work.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Philadelphia last week. I did 33 cold calls. I looked at my pedometer. I walked something like 16,000 steps.
Mm-hmm.
I was done early. Like, all right, I'm going to beat the traffic out of here. I was fine. Went home, cooked dinner, did other stuff. Yeah, plenty of energy.
Yeah. Before the program, did you notice a difference in your energy compared to now?
I never take naps, but I wanted to. I'm not snacking, which I think was the big tip from the program was, see, I used to believe, oh, you're like a furnace. You just keep throwing kindling on the fire all day. You'll keep your metabolism going. And I believed that. And so I did that, but it didn't keep weight off. Then they said, no, you have something called leptins. And I'm like, lectins? No, leptins with a P. It's a hormone that tells you when you're hungry and when you're full. And if you snack all the time, it throws its hands up in the air. It doesn't know when you're hungry or full. It just says, forget it. Now I'm not hungry when I'm not eating, and I'm hungry when it's time to eat.
Awesome. And that also controls not only hunger, but also hormones in related to weight loss. If your body's always getting a steady flow of sugar, and in some ways, well, it can keep some people energetic throughout the day. It's the people that are really not feeling their best or having issues with not only leptin, but also blood sugar regulation. Because remember, our ancestors didn't always have food every 2 hours. Sometimes it'd go days, hours, sometimes there'd be feasting. And we're not trying to do anything crazy, but it's nice to be in tune with your hunger cues and let your body burn up its sugars or fat and use it for energy. And then when you fast, you can also focus on detoxing. So we're going to add some things back in slowly that you've taken out just so you can live, right? And still be social, but also because we recognize that we want you to have something that lasts. So right now we're doing detox, right? Which is cleaning up, and whatnot. And we want to teach you how to do that, Tim, so that if you guys go away and you're just, really indulging, you can kind of come back and not even feel like you're depriving yourself on a diet, because your diet just means what you're eating. But if you just throw a party at your house, I mean, you're probably not going to leave all the sticky wine on the floor and the beer in the sink. You're going to clean it up. We want to just make sure your body's the same way. You learn how to clean it up, because sometimes things get a little out of hand, right? And we don't want to wait till you're 15, 20 pounds out of hand. Just, oh, you know what? Even outside of weighing myself, I feel like crap. So then you go back to maybe a little fasting or eating the way you're eating for a few days, like now, just to clean it up. You just threw a party, right? You clean it up. Okay.
Gotcha.
What would you say to someone that perhaps has a guy that thinks just, having smelly gas is normal and a belly is normal as you get older? What would you say to that person now that you're in the program?
Girls don't really like the dad bod. They just say they do, right? It's not even about that. It's about feeling good. I mean, does that feel good? No. My pants are falling off. I got to go get new pants. My belts are cinched to the tightest they are. I have a flat stomach. I was laying in bed the other day and like, it's concave instead of convex. It's like, wow. Yeah, now I just got to firm it up so I get that six pack I told you I was working on. So I had a club soda with a lime in it or something. Yeah. And he's looking at me and I said, go ahead, punch me in the stomach as hard as you can. He's bigger than I am. He did, and it bounced off.
Wow.
I was ready for it, but
Nice.
So yeah, it feels good to get back to, firmness.
And the goal now is we took a lot of things out to help get a head up on the inflammation and weight loss. But then also when you add some things in moderation, you're going to see how they affect you, right? Energy wise, weight, gas. And then that's going to help you figure out, along with more testing that we're doing, what foods really do best with you and don't do best. And that's going to help you. Not to say that you ever can't have something, but I don't like the way I feel when I have that, or I'm going to have gas or bloating. And that's not uncomfortable for you, but also for your relationships. Right. And it's tough. What would you say to someone who's on the fence about considering holistic medicine compared to traditional medicine? They've gone to GI doctors, physicians compared to this. What would you say to that?
Well, I loved my parents very much. My dad, who's passed, and my mom was still alive, and he's a MD and she's an RN. Yeah. So they were trained and brought me up in traditional medicine, traditional pharmacy, all that stuff. There's always a pill for something. I don't want to be taking 40 pills a day. I see people like that. My own dad was like that at some point. He would spend one day making up the next month's worth of Dixie cups filled with pills to keep himself alive. It was like, as you pointed out, food can be medicine. Food is medicine. Why don't we handle the thing before we need the medicine by not getting in that condition in the first place?
Yeah, totally. How would you say the difference? What would you say the difference is between when you go to a traditional physician and then seeing me or my team so far?
I went to a doctor last spring, mainly is I haven't had a baseline physical in years. I'm in a new home, new location, new town. I should get a doctor. So I purposely picked a DO rather than an MD, just because they're a little different, a little more holistic, maybe. His nurse did my blood pressure. It was fantastic. She left the room. He came in, started needling me about every vaccine he thinks I should be on, and that he can't believe I didn't get this shot or that shot. And then he goes and takes my blood pressure, and it was through the roof. Well, I didn't feel like it was through the roof. I think he took it wrong, but maybe he did exasperate me. But either way, I said, your nurse just took it and it was this.
Right.
So he agreed to take it again, and he gave me the exact same number he came up with back, which tells me he just repeated the number. He then went on he wanted to send me for chest x-rays and EKGs, and then he wanted to get me on blood pressure medication ASAP. I must have burned rubber leaving his parking lot to get to a CVS to get a blood pressure cuff. I took my own blood pressure. Even after all that, it was the same as the nurse had done, which was about 115 over 74 or something like that. Not his 150 over, what did he have? 150 over 95 or something. It was crazy. So I never went back to him. I was like, forget that stuff. Plus, he canceled my appointment a couple of times. When I came to see you, it was like, no, it's more like having a conversation. You sat there and listened for quite a while. You
Yeah.
want to make it personal. Let's figure out what we can do for you. Let's start with food as medicine. And you even admit, hey, look, I'm not 100% your solution, but I'm probably 95% of it. If you really have to go to surgery for something, then get some surgery.
Yeah. I think it's,
but other than that, let's not get there.
yeah. Like you mentioned, we're not going aggressive or over the top with pills or procedures. And it was just coming off sketchy or manipulative, questionably. Like, do you get a kickback if I'm on a statin and I see your 3 friends? Like it's just one of those things. It was kind of not making sense, maybe feeling a little pushy and monopolizing or manipulative. And I'm not saying he has any ill intent, but I do also find it hard to believe that happened, right? And I'm not saying he was lying, but even after all that, if your blood pressure was still okay, it just is very interesting, is a good way to put it. So anyway.
I took it every couple of days for the next 4 weeks to make sure it wasn't an anomaly. I sat perfectly still in a chair with my arm up the way it's supposed to be with the thing on my wrist, tried it on both wrists. I recorded it for weeks and it was consistently more like what the nurse had done.
Yeah.
So I think he just wanted to find hypertension, and he said that's very important to him. So yeah, so I think that's what he makes his practice around, is hypertension. And
yeah,
if you're looking for it, you're going to find it, I guess.
Yeah. And it's tough because then what do they offer you, right? When you go through your insurance, they usually offer a pill or a procedure, right? And so we're not going to insurance, we could offer food, fitness, supplements, right? And how would you say, I know you mentioned this on your first visit with me, but how would you say dealing with labs and testing is different here compared to there?
Well, it's a little bit of a DIY procedure there, but it was hard drawing blood from myself. No, I didn't have to do that part. You guys sent a phlebotomist to me actually this morning. She was supposed to arrive at 10. She was 2 minutes late. She was done in 40 seconds. She scooped everything up and she was gone by probably 10:05. I mean, it was like, wow, that was fast. No waiting in a lab somewhere for something to happen. It just happened. I actually got blood drawn at that other guy's place. I had to show up at 8 a.m, had to wait a while. Other people got in front of me. Then I finally got my blood taken. And then when I asked for my results later, they said, oh, those are ours. I said, no, there's something called HIPAA. I have a right to my own records. I never did get a copy of them. And I paid for insurance that paid them to do that to me. I just paid directly, and probably you're still cheaper than the cost of my insurance for the year.
Correct. And we don't see you every year for a 6-month program, by the way. So it's kind of like replacing the engine and then getting oil changes, right? So it's one of those things that I just finished up with someone right before you, and she's like, this is a fraction of my out-of-pocket costs for my cancer care or, my healthcare every year. And so she was ready to just do another whole 6-month program. I go, no, we don't do that. We work with you once, teach you what to do. Then I see you, at most, maybe 2 or 3 times a year if we're going to look at different panels that we didn't check the first time around, right? Because there's a lot of stuff out there that could be contributing to that. So it's a fraction. And then as you mentioned, you're in sales, time is money. Right. You get to the office 8 a.m. You sit there for 40 minutes. Then they draw your blood for 10, 15, the whole process, your hour of your time. This is literally, my husband actually had a blood draw last week. She arrived 4 minutes late, which is still not crazy in a doctor's office, but comes to your house at 7 a.m. before his work day. And it was done before I literally went upstairs to wash my hands. It came down. She was gone. I was like, oh, I wanted to meet her because I know that everyone says how great they are, but we have so many, phlebotomists and stuff out there that, yeah, no, I agree with you. This is awesome. So how did you hear about us, by the way?
Well, my girlfriend, Mary, had actually brought her daughter to you a couple of years ago, I guess. I guess because of that, she must have been on some kind of a call list with you, because then she saw you were having an open house. So I said, yeah, sure, I'll go to the open house with you, because it's your topic specifically addressed bloating, gas, all that stuff. And of course, we were both busy trying to eat healthy and farting up a lot of broccoli. So we're like, hey, let's
Yep.
go see what he's got to offer. And by the time we left, we're like, yeah, let's sign up for this and do this together, which is nice. She admitted to me, she said, yeah, if you weren't doing this with me, it would have been a lot harder because 2 separate meals, this way we eat the same things. We can talk about the stuff. So obviously any men who are thinking of this, if you do have a partner you can do it with, that is helpful. But if you do it by yourself, you might get a partner afterwards. So look at it that way, right?
Right. Totally.
It could be a new dating program.
Exactly. Yeah. A lot of men, they get up their confidence. They start dating. One guy got a girlfriend and they got pregnant after they got married because
He did or she did?
she did. And that would be a miracle if he did, right? Then we really know we're doing something special. But it was so cool to just see his confidence was higher, right? Because he lost the weight, he had more energy. And his confidence really went up, and it's not to say like you have to have a cosmetic confidence level, but it's part of it, right? If you're playing fat, sick, and nearly dead, you're not gonna feel confident.
Sure. Well, it's energy level too.
And also hormones, right? Hormones can prevent you from losing weight. Yep. Yeah. So hormones help, and testosterone, all of those things, T levels naturally. Because if you take a testosterone pill, it's like giving your kid money and never making them work. What do you think your body does? Right? It gets stupid, easy, and then that only gets worse. You need more and more of the pill, and who's benefiting? Pharma, right? Because you need more and more of their drug, and then eventually it stops working. That's what happens with any drug, right? You stop getting a hit, and then you're left more sick and tired and whatever. So, anything you wanted to add to people, especially men that are on the fence about doing something like this?
Well, the sooner you do it, the quicker it will be corrected, and the less time you have to go through feeling bad. I mean, why not? As you said, this isn't a forever thing. It's a new lifestyle. So if I'm going to be going to Italy next month. I don't know if we told you that.
Cool.
I don't really want to go there and just eat broccoli. I'm going to want to taste some things, but I'm going to find out that day whether that was a good idea or not. I'm not going to taste that tomorrow. I'm going to do a quick day or two cleanse and then give it another shot in another city at something else I want to try. But people are like, well, why do I want to get into a position where things are going to make me sick? No, you're already in a position where things make you sick. They just make you sick all the time. Now it'll be only on occasion at your choice, and maybe not. Maybe it won't make you sick because you've healed your gut.
Exactly.
Which is really what I'm hoping for. And I already know my leaky gut is certainly a lot less leaky